Hi, I'm Phil, the faculty advisor for the college, Canyons of the College Model United Nations team. In this video, we're going to do a brief introduction into Zoom. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Zoom already, but we just want to make sure that when delegates arrive at our conference, everybody's sort of on the same page. And so it's going to be really important for everyone to know all the different functions in Zoom, and then more importantly, which ones we're going to be using in the conference. So if you look down here on the bottom left-hand side of Zoom, you'll see mute. That is for you to turn off your microphone. And one of the things that you're going to find is that when we're in committee, when you're not speaking as a delegate, we're going to have you mute your microphone. Sometimes if people are talking and their microphone is muted, you won't be able to hear them, okay? So when delegates are not speaking, we're going to have them mute their microphones. And that way, if there's noise in the background, a dog is barking, helicopter flying overhead, whatever it happens to be, we won't pick it up in the committee. The other thing you're going to do when you're not speaking is down here, you see where it says stop video? What we're going to have delegates do is click on that to stop the video so that people won't be visible. What we're trying to do is reduce the amount of bandwidth that we're using in a committee. So the only people who are going to be visible are going to be the delegates who are speaking at the time. And so I'm going to turn off mine. Be careful because my the picture I have when I'm not, my video isn't on, is kind of scary, but I'm going to turn my video off. There you go. And that's just me with my mask on. Now, if you look over to the next thing, you'll see something called, don't worry about security, but click on Manage Participants. As you'll see, when you click on Manage Participants, we'll show this later in this video. On the right-hand side, right over here, all the names of the participants will show up. Now, it's not going to be individual names. It's going to be the names of the countries that they're representing. And so you'll be able to see all of the names of the participants. The other thing that you'll be able to do is on that same screen, when you click on participants, and I'll see if I can click on it here. Now you won't see it on my page because I'm the chair, but there'll be a little button right around here, just to the left of where it says yes, where you'll be able to raise your hand. So if you have a question, or if the chair is taking ask for points or motions and you want to make a point or a motion, raise your hand using this function. Now we're also going to be using this function to vote, which is really cool because one of the things about, at a regular conference, if there's a motion, the chair will say, all those in favor of this motion, please raise your placards now. And then they count all the placards. And then they'll say, all those opposed, please raise your placards now. And then everybody raises their placards and the chair counts them. And then all those delegates wishing to abstain, please raise your placards now, and so on. And they count like that. And it can be a little bit time consuming. One of the advantages of using Zoom is that the chair will say, we will now be voting simultaneously. And then down here, if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see yes, you can see no, and then you can see more. We're using the yes vote as voting in favor, the no vote as voting against, and then the more vote as being abstaining. And then you can pick one of these icons. What you'll see later in the video, it's kind of cool, is the reason we can vote simultaneously is right above the letters, it will total up all the votes. Like the chairs don't have to count it, just the total will be right there. And it's easy to see and easy to count. Right. Now you can also use this function here to send chats. I'm going to close the screen right now. If you want to send a chat message, so a text message, this is the equivalent of passing notes to people in the committee. And so if you click on chat, what will happen is you'll see down here the word everyone. And when you click on here, all the names of everybody else who's in the committee will appear. What you can do is click on one of the people. So let's say Belgium again. You click on Belgium. You can send a private message just to Belgium. Now here's the thing. You got to make sure that you click on Belgium. You don't want to send a message to Belgium or that you thought was going to go to Belgium and accidentally click on everyone, because that means everyone in the committee is going to see it. Okay, so double check. That's how we're going to be essentially doing the equivalent of sending notes. Don't send notes to the chairs, right? Any communication you're going to do with the dais will be either through the rapporteur on Discord or through to the host on Discord as well. But don't send notes to the chair unless the chair specifically asks you to send a note, or in this case, a text. So now I'm going to close the Zoom chat. And then, by the way, once we go into voting block, in committees, like on ground, you can't pass notes around. And so what we're going to ask delegates to do is that during voting block, not to send messages to one another. Now, there's really no way for us to monitor you sending private messages, but we're just going to ask you to respect that rule that is true in Model UN conferences on ground. So once we're in voting block, no private messages. Okay? So let me close this out now. Over here, so we're not, if you can use closed caption if you want. I'm not sure exactly how that functions work. Breakout rooms will be using very sparingly. The only reason there would be a creation of a breakout room is if you have a question for the host or the rapporteur and they can't handle it on the voice channel. If you don't understand that, watch the intro to Discord. But what I mean is if they can't handle it on the text channel, and if they don't think they can handle it communicating with you via voice, they might put you in a breakout room. For now, I would say don't worry about the breakout rooms. The only thing you need to worry about beyond that is this reactions button. And what this reactions button is going to stand in, it's going to be the equivalent for delegates snapping their fingers during conference. If you click on reactions, you can either put a thumbs up, or alternatively, you can use the applause icon. You can see how it appears in the screen here. So I'll do the thumbs up again. There you go. Or I can do the applause icon. They stay on for a little while, and then they just go away. So that's what we'll do. So if a delegate says something that you totally like, since we can't snap and everybody's microphones are going to be muted. So even if you snap into your microphone, they wouldn't hear it because you'll be muted if you're not on screen. You still can let people know, hey, really like that. Okay. So those are the basics for how we're going to use Zoom. So most of the conference, formal debate is going to happen. So we'll demonstrate that a little bit later in this video to show you exactly what it's going to look like. And we'll go through some procedural motion and just see how it plays out in committee. The main thing is we've been practicing doing this for a couple weeks now, and we're just getting the hang of it. So the key is for your team to practice using Zoom, and then practice using Discord, and then practice going back and forth between the two. That's going to be essential. So we'll have more to say about all of this in another video where we talk about Zoom, Discord, and Google.